Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Iron Digital. I'm your host D Wills, and in today's video I'm gonna go over this Ethereum surpassing Bitcoin in address activity. So let's jump into this real quick. As the article says, or as the article reads rather, Ethereum's daily active addresses surpassed Bitcoin for the first time in crypto history. As Bitcoin continues to consolidate, Ethereum gained momentum and breached the psychological price of 2100. Ethereum has been surged by 12.47% in the last 24 hours to hit 2130 during intraday trading, according to CoinMarketCap. As a result, ETH made history by surpassing Bitcoin's daily active addresses, as acknowledged by Sentiment, the crypto analytic firm explained. On a day that saw history be made with Ethereum surpassing Bitcoin in daily active addresses for the first time, all coins came to play. KSM, Comp, and Zilliqa were among many projects to make an imprint on the markets, while Bitcoin ranged around 34.5 thousand. Ethereum's daily active addresses shot up to 649,000, whereas those of Bitcoin stood at 580,000. Sentiment also noted that other coins like Zilliqa, Compound, and Kusama performed well. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's average trader returns recently sank to a 14-month low as FOMO, fear of missing out, bottom selling, and top buying became prevalent. This has been the opposite of profitable traders because they usually buy the low and sell the high. Is Ethereum starting a continuation towards a breakout? Is what Michael Van de Pope, I guess that's how you say his name, says. Ethereum is showing some strength here, in which is currently facing a critical resistance zone. Not an area I'd be looking for longs. The aggressive play would be some short-term consolidation with support at 1985 to 2015. If that happens, continuation towards a breakout. Yeah. I don't know whether that's the case or not. The only thing I know is this. I know that EIP 1559 is around the corner. And as I've explained in another video, that is going to make ETH deflationary. More than likely, it's going to make ETH deflationary just from burning the transaction fees. So that's going to put a tremendous amount of pressure on the value of Ethereum. It's going to make Ethereum go up. Another point to be made is that Ethereum is better than Bitcoin. I'll say that again. Ethereum is better than Bitcoin. Ethereum can do more than Bitcoin does. Ethereum, it has its problems, like with the gas fees, but make no mistake, Ethereum is, I'll use Charles Hoskinson's terms. I'll say it the way he says it. Ethereum would be kind of like a second generation type of crypto. So Bitcoin would be considered like the first generation, right? So that was the first thing to be introduced. And then Ethereum and the other cryptos came out. And then you even have, like, I guess you could say third or fourth generation cryptos too. You could make Cardano like a third generation crypto if you want to. I believe they came out around 17. But you know, the way technology works, because this is what we're investing in, technology. We call them cryptocurrencies, but they're technologies, right? The technology has to be able to get better as time goes on. So when Bitcoin came out, Bitcoin was extremely good for the time period that it came out in, coming out in 2008. 2008 I believe is when it was officially like created. In 2009 is when it hit the scene. Well, you got to think that's over like 11-12 years ago. It's not a Turing complete language, so you can't really do too much to it. It has the network. It's because, I mean, it was the first of its kind. So yeah, it will have the network, but what can you really do with Bitcoin besides hold it? What can you really do with Bitcoin besides hold it? So, you know, this stuff, you're going to continue to see this kind of stuff happen. This doesn't surprise me at all that Ethereum, 649,000 active addresses, whereas Bitcoin stands at 580,000. Why? You can't do anything with Bitcoin. You can't do anything with it. Ethereum, there's so many more things that you can do with Ethereum than Bitcoin. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, there's no comparison between the two. One is store of value. You don't really need a store of value, to be honest with you. And I like Bitcoin because I like what it stands for. I like the fact that it is onboarded the whole just everything else. Because of Bitcoin, that's why you have Ethereum, and that's why you have the Solanas and the Cardanos, and you have this whole ecosystem that's evolving. But, you know, technology has to be able to get better. When you think about the iPhone, you know, I remember when the iPhone came out in 2007 or 2008, I believe. I think it was 2008. And the very first iPhone, I believe it was like 8 gigs. They had two versions. One was 8 gigs and the other one was 16 gigs. The iPhone in 2008 is completely different than the iPhone in 2021. I mean, drastically different. So many more things that you can do, so much more memory, everything. The technology has to be able to advance. It's like that slogan, or that saying goes, to be able to stand on the shoulders of giants, to be able to see further ahead. And that's all this is. The technology has to get better. So, you know, the idea that Bitcoin is going to remain the OG, and that's going, well, no, excuse me. The thought that Bitcoin is the one and only, you know, from what the maximalists say, it really is. And I don't like to use this word toxicity, but just because it's already used so much amongst the community. But that's what they say. All right, so I'll say it anyway. Bitcoin toxicity. You know, you got to get away from that. This technology has to be able to advance and build on top of one another. And in the future, there'll be something better than Ethereum that comes along. And you could argue there's probably a couple cryptos right now that's better than Ethereum. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It has to be able to build on top of one another. I have to just go on into that. You can call it a rant if you want to, or just me talking. But I had to go into that real quick. I also had this other piece of news right here. Why Ethereum price could pass Bitcoin sooner than we think. Which will pretty much affirm everything that I just said. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Let me see. Ethereum blockchain versus Bit. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Side-to-side comparisons of the two blockchains shows the major differences. The Bitcoin blockchain is basically a database of accounts, a ledger, if you will, while Ethereum is much more sophisticated. Things that are possible with Ethereum are just not possible with Bitcoin. The Ethereum blockchain is able to store computer code. A good example of these things are smart contracts. A smart contract is basically, yeah, we know what that is. ETH 2.0 could destabilize Bitcoin. With ETH 2.0 coming, a lot of things are going to change. The move from proof of work to proof of stake means Ethereum will use significantly less power. It is estimated that Ethereum mining will use 99% less power for mining than Bitcoin. This could mean a bit move from Bitcoin mining. Okay, what is it? This could mean a bit move from Bitcoin mining. Okay, yeah. That doesn't sound right. The environmental impacts of crypto mining has been a hot topic in the world. Countries are trying to limit their emissions numbers and are looking to cut down. So, I mean, well, they're swinging that narrative of the whole energy thing, which certain elements, certain aspects of it happens to be true, but it's largely just the narrative that's being pushed. But proof of work, you don't really need that much protection. It's arguable whether you really need that level of protection. Proof of work consensus mechanism, you could get away with proof of stake consensus, and I mean on a large scale, we don't really know whether proof of stake will work or not, but we at least have to try it. You know, as far as with just general different cryptos to deal with something that is less energy, that uses less energy, and move a little bit more efficient. So yeah, that's pretty much all the news that I have for y'all, to be honest with you. Is a couple more pieces out there, but I would say that this to me is some of the most important, especially this Ethereum daily active addresses being higher than Bitcoin, because slowly but surely the things that people like myself have been saying, that Ethereum is going to surpass Bitcoin, it's slowly coming true. It's slowly coming true, and it will continue. It will happen at some point in time. It's going to happen. If it doesn't happen by Ethereum, it's going to happen by Cardano, Solana, any of these other infrastructure plays, because they hold a whole economy, and they hold a whole economy on top of these cryptos, and that's so much more than what you can do with Bitcoin. So, no, not to say Bitcoin doesn't serve a purpose, but in comparison to other cryptos that have more use case, it doesn't serve a purpose. So that's all the news that I have for y'all today. I will talk to you guys, I don't know, maybe tomorrow or something in the future. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the future. Y'all take it easy. Peace.